Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I want to talk about the Hobonichi Cousin. Love-hate relationship with it, like a lot of other people. I want to talk about it. So this will be a little chatty. It's not scripted. I just gonna go through some pages, talk about what I did in September, my idea for 2025, all of that. So if you're interested, stick around and maybe grab a cup of coffee because like I said, it's gonna be a little chatty one. Okay, so here's the deal. I buy a Hobonichi Cousin every year and I never actually fill it. Join me if you're in that problem with me. Pause while I take a drink of coffee. So I've bought one every year since about 2019. 2019 was when I found the Weeks and I loved it. And then I saw the Cousin. I was like, oh, that's for me. And I've bought one every year except this year, 2024. I was like, you know what, Lisa, you don't use them. You don't buy them. I mean, you buy them and then you don't use them. You like the idea of them, but the execution is where you kind of fall behind. So I decided to make myself a deal that I could not purchase a Hobonichi for 2025 unless I could use this actual one for the rest of the year. I mean, it's a spring start, so it doesn't end until March, but I told myself if you use it consistently, you know, obviously not perfectly, because let's be real, we all don't use our planners perfectly, but if we used it consistently through December, that I could go ahead and purchase one for 2025 if I wanted to, because I do, so far I have not purchased anything, y'all. I've been very proud of myself that I did not jump ahead and just buy everything that was out, because between the Hobonichi launch and Sterling Ink and gosh, let's see, Paper Test Designs, Twines and Paper. These are all amazing planners. You know what? I lied. I did. I pre-ordered an Aura Estelle because that was a pre-order. Everybody else had stock. And I was like, you know what? I want to go ahead and get the pre-order because I have an idea for it. I purchased one of their A5, but I'll talk about that later. So back to this. So I have not purchased anything with the fall launches because I was just like, you know what, Lisa, you bought so much this year. Granted, most of it was on super sale, and I bought it because I was just like, oh, I've never tried this planner. I've always wanted to, or this one, or this, and whatever. And I've tried them, and now it's out of my system, and I'm like, okay, great. Now you need to focus on this and see if you actually use this, if you're actually going to need one for next year. Because these ain't cheap. Like, now that they did a price increase, and I think now they're close to $70 on most retailers, which that's fine. I mean, I don't mind investing the money if I'm going to use it, but the fact of the matter is I've bought one of these almost every year since 2019, and I've yet to use one to its fullest capacity. So I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? So side note, my mailman just showed up, and I have a tiny dog, and if you have a tiny dog, you know what that means. So I might need to pause. I'm gonna wait and see if he comes to my house because he's pulling out. This is his big package delivery route. Okay, anyways, digressing here. Okay, so what I thought I would do is I would walk you through. I decided this in like late August, so I was like with an intention of September of using this planner as a planner and or journal, depending on how the mood strike, because I was just like, no holds barred. I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to try and use this as many ways as I can, or however I'm feeling at the time, and see if I like anything, see if anything sticks, see if anything clicks, and see if I actually use it. So I don't really have anything on the sidebar, honestly. I do have this that came with this cover. Look how cute that is. And then this is the Montgomery and Taggart, which is Connecticut's first romance-only bookstore. The grand opening last weekend. Yes, I went and I got this little sticker. And I've tucked that in there. And then some book covers, and I think these are just the daily, yeah, those are from Amazon. Because most of the time, this stays at home. I don't bring this to work. I did try one week, and we'll get to that week. So let me just go. I bookmarked some places for easy access. So let's start with the monthly. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. Should I pull you down a little bit closer? Okay. So with the monthly, okay, coming from Rings, which This is personal. All summer I was in a pocket, and I just recently moved back into my personal. This is humongous. This is so much real estate. I can put so much in there. So breaking it down on the sidebar, I split it in half, and this is personal to-dos, and I'm a huge reader. Obviously my channel name is My Bookish Agenda. And so this is new releases for the month. Unfortunately for September, I got a little carried away, and when I pulled out my list, I accidentally copied October's, and I was like, yeah, I'm not widening. Anyways, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, I was so irritated. It's fine. So basically I tried to see how much I could fit into this calendar. So the main calendar is appointments, to-dos, like date-specific to-dos, specific like bills or things I need to check up on a certain date. All of it goes in here. I've said this before. My monthly is my inbox. It gets messy. I don't have like a traditional inbox where you have like the list and you migrate things. No, I just put it all in the monthly calendar, because this is my reference point for anything. If my husband calls and says, do we have some, hold on, and I check. If whenever I'm setting up my week, I use my monthly, because this is where it all goes, and I don't care how messy it gets. I don't make it cute. It's just, it is what it is. So all that goes in here. This top bar here where the dates, let me see if I can get that closer. I don't know, is that in frame? Let me check. You see there's initials there, and that's because I tried to use it also as my reading tracker. So down here is where I have the actual, sorry, I know that wasn't in focus. The actual names of the books and then abbreviations, and then I put it at the top bar, and that's trying to mimic what I do in my personal, where I keep this layout, which is just a month on one page, where again, book, abbreviation, and then in the calendar I just put the abbreviation of when I read it. And that's, you know, again, trying out different things, seeing how much I can incorporate here, seeing if this would actually work as a planner, even though I don't think so. I think I'm pretty set on having my rings, because I'm just a function. When it comes to planning and not memory keeping and not journaling, I am a functional planner. But again, this is the month of experimentation, so I'm trying it all. So all that's here. It worked really well. Again, humongous, lots of real estate, loved it. Let's move on to the week. So let me preface this by saying the week is where I struggle. Like other people in this community that have a love-hate relationship with the cousin, I'm trying to get to a blank one. I struggle with the vertical for two reasons. One, I've shifted since I've moved into rings. I have a horizontal layout mostly in my rings, or a very truncated vertical style thing. It's nothing like this. So I've already been used to that. So going back to this, I'm like, huh. Two, and more importantly, I don't have a life this busy. I don't detail my life, like not detail, but I don't have appointments like this. I don't have meetings like at work that I need to, oh my gosh, have that, or appointments where I'm like running around like doing stuff. I don't need that type of scheduling. So for me, I always struggle, because I'm like, what do I do with this? So what I thought I would try is to memory keep like this. And I was like, I'm not sure if I want to do like the whole sticker kit thing, because then I'm getting into the weeds of like, do I have enough sticker kits? Do I need to buy some more? Now I'm buying new things in my effort to try not buying for 2025. You know, it's just a spiral. Plus, I've always wanted to be a doodler, and I'm not a great doodler. And I thought, well, how to get better at doodling is to actually doodle. And I love saying doodle. That's cute, right? The word doodle. Okay. So I was like, try a doodle week. So I did. And I went through, and this was at the end of the day. I just kind of went through and put what happened chronologically there, to the best of my knowledge. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. And then on the side, I had, you know, a little weekly task of major stuff that I needed to do. And then I was like, oh, I'll throw in the books that I read with my eyeballs and read with my ear holes. Because I do memory keep in other places, and I do keep a track, like I do keep copies of the books, like book covers. And I was like, I'll just throw them on the big printout of all my other photos and just add them on there. And in reality, this didn't take long. It looks busy. It looks like it would take long, but I just did each column at the end of the day, and it took 10 minutes at the most. And then at the bottom is my activity tracker, you know, Apple Watch, stats, workouts, all of that. And I liked it. I was like, this is fun. I like doing this. And then the next week, like, why don't you try stickers? Not sticker kits, just stickers. And y'all, hello. So this is all the Coffee Monsters Co. And shout out to Helen because her stuff is adorable. I love it. I absolutely love everything, and as you can see. But for my, I think it's cute. Overall, I do think it's cute, but it's to me, it's also a little too cluttered. So I was like, I don't know. And plus, I have a large sticker collection that I've kind of abandoned as I became more of a functional planner. And so it's nice to use those up again, but I don't have that many stickers, and I would need to rebuy or buy some to fill in, you know, like certain events, like certain, you know what I'm saying? Like certain character stickers for certain things, dog walking, my kids' rehearsals, that sort of thing. Things that I don't have on hand, and I'm like, again, do I really need to be buying stuff for an experiment? So I may do with the collection I have. Every day I would just pull out my little Coffee Monsters Co. stickers and just fill in the day, still with the activity and still with the books. It's so cute. I just don't know if I could keep this up long term because I like just getting it done. I like just writing it. But also I thought if I kept doing this, there would be sticker bump where I would just have stickers piled up, you know, over time. So I was like, well, maybe I will do a doodle week and then stickers and then doodles, right? Still with the books, and then stickers. But see, this is where I know memory keeping like this with stickers is really not for me, because I was just like, I don't feel like it. I don't want to go get my stickers. And I'm covered. There's a picture of my kid under here, so that's why this is here. So I put some pictures from the weekend and I put the books, and that's it. I mean, I may or may not go back and fill it in, but I just wanted it to be an honest, realistic, like, show you for real how this happened, like how the month went. And I was just like, I'm not feeling it. So I just didn't go in and do anything. And then this is the current week. I'm filming this on Friday because I figured that would be okay, since these two, you know, this is the weekend. I'm going to post this on Sunday, and then Monday is the last day of the month. So I figured you got the idea of how the month went. And this is the week that I tried to take it to work with me and use it as an actual planner. I was transitioning from my pocket rings to my personal rings. And I was like, you know what? Why don't you not put planning pages in and use this as an experiment for the week? And it was stressful. I'm so used to just scribbling in this that when it came to trying to use this as a planner, I was like, no, I need all my notes and reference pages, and I need all that. So that ended here. It went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then that was the end of that experiment. I was like, nope, if I'm going to use this, if I'm going to commit to this for 2025, it really just needs to be as an archive / memory keeper. And hopefully I'll remember to touch on that at the end, why that's important to me, because it is. And we'll get into that. But let me finish going through the week or whatever. So again, personal tasks, this first half of the week I was trying to use it. So I put personal tasks, and then HB90, which is goal setting system. If you're not familiar, it's a 90-day goal setting system. I'll put a link about it below. I'm not an affiliate. I just like it. And so I was trying to put in, you know, my HB90 tasks up here. I plotted out events, and then I tried to plan around it, which just didn't work for me. And then I did activity, like fitness, Apple Watch, you know, all of that. And then I did the book I was either listening to with my ear holes or reading with my eyeballs. That, and I was just like, no, if I'm going to stick to this, it's got to be some sort of memory keeper at the end of the day as part of my journaling practice, that sort of thing. And then of course the rest of the, you know, it's blank. So let's move on to the, you know, before I show you the dailies, one of the things I did want to talk about is this page. I'm going to a blank one so you can see this page right here. This, you know, the start of every month in the dailies is a blank page, and I've never known what to do with it. I've seen people do some cute stuff with it, like currently, and then they do all that, or just monthly overview of photos, cute. Like, I've seen a lot of people do stuff, and I thought, well, why don't I try books? So in August, I printed out copies of all the books I read, and then I did stats over here, just number of books, pages read, hours listened, all of that, and then my favorite for the month, and I really liked that, and so I'm going to try and do that at the end of the month, like this weekend. I'm going to do September's, and I'm going to try and keep that up because I think that's cute. And then when it comes to the dailies, so this is a big hodgepodge of stuff. Some of it's journaling, some of it I try to use as a planner, some of it's memory keeping. This is about me not buying anything on the Hobonichi launch. Growth. It's called growth. I was like, let me journal about it because I really wanted to buy stuff, but again, I had to really settle myself into the fact that you don't really use this. Why are you purchasing that? And then of course you want to fill up your cart because you want to, you know, make it worth it for the shipping costs. And I'm like, that Paddington Weeks is to die for. I need that. I need it, you know. I mean, and the next thing you know, my cart is like at $170, and I'm like, what are you doing? No. We don't need to do that. So I journaled about it a little bit. Again, some journaling, my dog. I got my Coffee Monsters Co. pre-order from the summer. I try to do some journaling where, this was a meme my family sent me, it was cute. You know, I've tried to put sticky notes to go back and put some pictures. This is where I tried to do morning journaling and then afternoon / end of the day journaling. And then I was like, this would require me to get up even earlier to do this or take it to work. So see, I tried to pre-set up pages. There's a lot of blanks in here because I just, again, wasn't sure. Then this is memory keeping. My daughter and I went on a road trip. Oh yeah, to the romance bookstore, that sticker. Yeah. A set of pages. Again, this is when I took it to work and I tried to do a actual planner, like this is what I had today, this is what I have to do, and then some morning journaling. And again, that's why I have this is my functional, this is where all that goes, and I just don't feel like I need one to carry this around, especially since there's so many memories in it. I'd rather it be at home. And two, if I'm not using the rest of it as a planner, it just seems strange to use this part as a planner. So this was yesterday, actually. We had some doctor's appointments that ran late, and so I was like, you know what? At this point, you're only going to get to school for an hour, so let's just go to Whole Foods and have some lunch and call it a day. So that was nice. So yeah, so overall, September for the monthly, the weekly went well. Very happy with how I use those pages. I got in a groove and I really liked it. This last week, this current week, I mean, trying to use that as a planner, I realized that's not for me. So to me, that was a good step. I was like, great, I know I don't want that. I'm going to try in October to memory keep in those weeks like I was doing, probably just doodling, because again, that's fun. As far as the daily pages, I think I enjoy it more as a memory keeper than a journal, because I've showed it on my channel before, but it's in the other room. I'm not going to go grab it, but I have an A6 English planner, Hobonichi planner, the black one, and I use that every night to journal. But that is not memory keeping. That's just like Dear Diary stuff, like processing my day, like it's my best friend. Like, you'll never believe what happened today. You know, good, bad, ugly, venting, you know, being excited, being sad, whatever, you get it. So sometimes journaling in here takes away from journaling in there, and that the other one is private, you know, it's a true diary. And so I'm like, do I really need this as a journal, or should just this be memory keeping? But there's not always a memory every day. And so I'm like, am I okay with having blank pages? I think I am. I mean, I think if I was just to consistently use it and put in pictures and little memories every now and then, that would be fine. But I don't know yet. I'm when it, like I said, when it came to the monthly and the weekly, happy. When it came to the dailies, I was still struggling to find my way. And I think that truly the only way to find your way is to use it. So I'm like, okay, I don't mind the blank pages right now. I don't mind the half filled in stuff, because to me, this is all part of the experiment. So right now it's not really messing with me in terms of like, I can't believe these are blank pages. I'm like, I'm finding my way. I'm finding my, for lack of a better term, I'm finding my voice in here. And so I would give this part of it maybe like a 6, because it was fun, but there were days where I was like, I don't feel like reaching for this. I don't feel like taking the time to print out a photo and sit down, you know, and then the weekend would come and I'd have a stack of, you know, like, okay, I should print out these photos and I should catch up, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. So I don't know. That is definitely going into, if I'm doing a pros and cons for whether or not to use this, that definitely goes into the list of cons, because it is time consuming. It is. And the Aura Estelle I mentioned earlier is, oh, I bumped the table, I'm sorry, is a, you know, I did a mock layout of it. Let me see if I can get to one. Is the weekly essential, I think. It's not very big. It's got the horizontal layout on like this. It's got a horizontal layout on the side, and then a blank page over here. It's got a sidebar, a horizontal layout, and a blank page. And that's how I used to set up my Stalogy when I was like last year. I would do a sidebar for tasks. I would do weekly plans, like tasks and to-dos, weekly plans, and then I would do pictures from the week. I would just print them out and then maybe a little blurb. And so in the end, when I was done, I had a nice overview of the week. Here's what we did, and here's photos of it. And I loved it. And I'm like, why did I stray away from that? And honestly, it was because I was tired of setting up each and every page in Stalogy. So Aura still has that layout. And the bonus for me is that at the back, there's about 100 blank pages. And I feel like on a typical week, this is plenty. The plans over here and the photos over here, I would just copy my plans, maybe use a sticker or, you know, a little full box sticker to make it cute, because it would just be for memory keeping / archiving. And then over here, photos. But if it was like an event, like a birthday, an anniversary, you know, Christmas, a big holiday where we have a lot of photos from that one event, like that one event, I could go to the back and use those blank pages to expand and basically like scrapbook back there and have ephemera and have all of that fun stuff. And I thought that's probably where I need to be at. So that's why I pre-ordered that one, because that window was small and I didn't want to miss out. And that's why I have not purchased anything else. I want to wait till that comes in. I want to look through that. I want to get a feel of it and say, maybe this is it. And then I don't need to purchase this one. Again, I have this. This is good through the end of March of next year. So there's no rush. There really is no rush to make a decision to get one of these. If I ended up using this consistently and I decided this is where I want to archive my life, yes, I would like it to be January to December and have it in 1 year, not have it overlap. But I'm not worried about that yet. Right now, it's all experimenting through December. We'll see how that goes. In terms of documenting my life, I know that some people aren't into that, and that's great. I look, everybody does what they want to do. It's no, like, it doesn't bother me that some people are like, oh, why do you do that? I don't care. I'm too old to care. I do it for a couple of reasons. One, I've always had some sort of diary, and of course, should be shocked to no one, in the 90s I scrapbooked. In the early aughts I scrapbooked, you know, that sort of thing. And that has changed over time. People have been documenting daily life for ages now, you know, through various means. And this is just a new iteration of that. So I know growing up, for me, you know, it was photo albums. My parents put all kinds of pictures, you know, the sticky, and then you put the photo and you stick it back. But it, you know, it was ticket stubs, pressed flowers, that sort of thing. And that's what we looked through when we were kids. And then, you know, my parents or relatives would tell us stories, and it was fun, you know, just like, oh, photo albums. And with everything being digital, yes, I know I can print off photos, like massive amounts of photos, and put them in photo albums. But I do this. I write down what we did. I write down little memories, and I put photos from my home printer or my little Canon Ivy, and I just do it this way. And I enjoy it, and I hope who knows, will my kids ever look through these? I don't know. I don't know, but I'd like to think that when I'm no longer here, if they're missing me or they want to revisit something, they would have these books to look at, and they could see the time and care that I put in to documenting our life, and maybe that would mean something to them. Or I don't, I don't know. Who knows? I'm not going to burden my kids with being like, you must keep these forever. I'm just going to say, they know. They know that when I'm gone, they can throw these away or they can keep them. It's up to them. I don't care. And it's not like there's a bunch of them, Anyways, I'm digressing here. The other side of it is, for those that don't know, my husband works in rare books and ephemera. And I've been to his office before. I've seen some of the things they get in, and they do get in diaries sometimes, like collections of diaries. And they're not anybody in particular. They're not anybody famous. They're just from key points in history, people that lived during certain notable time periods that they kept daily journals. And so there's key things in there, like the way people process stuff, the way people view stuff, like seeing that time of life through their lens. It's even cool because, in some of these older diaries, there's built-in like postage charts and oil, like how much oil costs, and like travel distances and train fares and all of these things. And of course, they're from decades ago, so the prices are ridiculously low, but it's so fun to look back and be like, that's what life was like then. And it seems very abstract right now to think of 50, 100, 200 years from now that people are going to want to look at our lives because we're currently here. We're like, who cares? This is just life. But maybe somebody would find this and be like, oh, this was a thing that people did back then. And it doesn't need to be any deeper than that. Like, oh, this was funny, haha, or cute, or, oh, look at this. People would decorate these journals and diaries and keep memories like this. And that's fun to know. I don't know. It's fun for me. It's a creative outlet. I enjoy it. And so it is part of my daily, weekly, monthly system. And while in the end, whether or not I buy a Hobonichi Cousin is not that serious in the larger scheme of things, it's serious to my wallet. It is very serious to my wallet because I don't need to be purchasing large items like this if I'm not going to use them. So if you stuck around this long and you listened to me ramble about Hobonichi Cousins, I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you. I would love to hear from you, though, if you are a Hobonichi lover, because love, very much love. But if you also struggle with using it consistently or in a way that you think works, it just hasn't clicked with you yet, let me know in the comments. I would love to chat with you about it. Also, if you have an alternative, if you memory keep and you document your life, but you use an alternative, let me know as well. I know that there's, obviously like Hobonichi, there's, Sterling Ink, there's Twines and Paper, there's Paper Test Designs, there's Moleskine, there's, there's all kinds of options. And there's new ones all the time. I think Just Scribbles just came out with a planner. There's options, and I get it. And so far, again, like I said, I haven't purchased anything other than the Aura Estelle because I'm really trying to make a conscious, how do you say that? Conscience? You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to think through it and make a good decision instead of just buying everything. So let me know in the comments. I appreciate it. And side note about comments, real quick, I'm going to address this in another video, but I want to say it briefly here. To those who have left a comment that I have not replied to, I'm very sorry. Okay, real quick, I have 2 YouTube accounts. One for this channel because I set it up a long time ago and it's through a Google account, like an actual like G Suite paid account. And then my husband subscribed to YouTube Premium and you cannot connect those two, so I had to use another account to connect so I could use YouTube Premium. And that's the account, of course, I'm always on because I don't want to watch ads when I watch YouTube. And so I'm totally missing a ton of alerts and notifications to comments. And then if they're threaded within each other, I'm missing those. So I'm going to go through this weekend and look at all the comments and see what I missed and reply, because I think it's very important to reply. If you took the time to watch my video and comment, I want to acknowledge that and say thank you for watching and commenting. Even if we don't agree, even if it's a mean comment, I still want to acknowledge and reply as best I can. So if you have left me a comment and I have not responded, I'm very sorry. I'm still learning, and that's not an excuse. I'm just saying I'm still learning, and I realized that the premium is preventing me from seeing stuff because I'm constantly logged into it. So I need to make, you know, a concerted effort to go to the other channel and actually look at what's going on in there. So thank you again if you stayed on this long. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.